All right. Well, tonight we have something that we're going to take a look at. We're going to be taking a look at the Wick'd XO clone by Vape. Well, Vape's a company that cloned it. We're going to take a look at their machining and see how they did and just how it stacks up. Now, I have been using this one. I've used it for about a week just to try it out, but I did pick this up brand new. So I'm going to show you everything I got in the pack, and we'll go over the packaging and everything that comes in it, and we'll wick it, we'll set it up, and we'll vape it. All right, so let's dive down. Let's take a look at what comes in the XO by Wick'd. And let me take this off real quick. I don't know if I can get it off without leaving it marred up. There we go. All right, so let's take a look at the packaging, shall we? From all the pictures I've seen online from the actual authentic Wick'd, the packaging looks very, very, very similar. And it's a metal lid, plastic bottom, and it just unscrews. So this is everything that comes in it. You get grub screws and Allen wrench, which, on this channel we don't use because it strips them. Because they tend to put the wrong size in. All right, let's get down here. All right, first off, you're going to have the RB itself. It's going to come with 5 pins. Down here in the pin set, 2.5, 3, 1, 4.0, and what comes in it is the 3.5. There's nothing else in the packaging. And this isn't that soft foam. This is very hard and dense foam. Not like the soft foam I think it would have come in. This is pretty, like, it's pretty stiff foam. But let's open this up. Let's talk about it. Do you have a serial number right there? Of course, it's not going to be an original serial number, but there it is. You've got the bear on this side and the XO on this side. This is rather small compared to a regular Wick'd that I have in. Which one do I have it in? Right here. This thing is. That's right on the edge of it. That's small in comparison. It is really, really tiny. So let's put this on a build stand. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, that's wet from me cleaning it. This cap is rather stiff, rather tight. Got a pretty good chimney on it. Pretty good cap. The machining is really tight tolerances. Like, you don't get it just right, it won't go down. And when it goes down, it clicks. And you gotta walk it off. It is really tight, which is a good thing. I don't know, you can probably see in there, but whenever they were running the drill, it got really hot. Probably a dull bit, and they needed to change it out. That is something that I noticed. This does screw on. It is regular thread. It's not reverse thread. But you do have a good sized deck on there. Now fitting a 3 in here, I don't think you'll be able to fit a 3 in here. If you do, it'd be really close. I'll stick with my 2.5s. But this this is not like the other Wick'd I showed where it had a key to take it all apart. This, you just take apart the airflow pin, which we're going to be changing it out anyway. Yeah, you just take out the airflow pin, and then the whole thing comes apart. So let's change out this airflow pin. We'll set that off to the side for cleaning. And I'm going to be running the 2.5. And we're swapping out this coil. So us taking this apart and putting it back together doesn't really matter when it comes to the coil because we're going to be changing it. But it comes apart just like any other RBA. The only difference is the wicking. If you see these little ports right here, put it back on the stand. It's going to be these holes right here. When you wick your coil, you're going to push your cotton down through here. And it's going to come out the bottom right here. Still got cotton on it. Yeah, it's going to come out through the bottom right there. And when you put the cap on there, it makes it rather nice because you don't have a bunch of cotton just sticking out everywhere. You'll see it whenever I wick it. So, I think tonight we're going to put in some Twisted Timmys. But we're going to be putting in the restricted direct lung and then direct lung. And oh, I'm sorry, I got the hiccups tonight. But anyway, these are the ones I normally run. The billet box. Aliens, they're NI80. But this is what we're going to be running in it tonight. So let's get it on our e-leaf, and let's see, what was I running in there? I was running a 4.3 in there. Would you look at that? Actually, no, I don't think we're going to run these tonight. No, we are going to run. Let's see if I got any more. I do. We're going to be running these. These are what they call firecracker coils, pop coils, whatever you want to call them. I can't think of the name offhand, but if I do, I'll put it right there. If I remember. But these are what we're going to be running. These are going to come out at about 4 to 4.3, like the other coil in there is. But I like the resistance for longer battery life on these. Batteries last pretty decent. The batteries last a good long while. So let's get our Allens out. And we will get it set up. Now again, we're going to be using our Sir Toolkit so we don't strip it, because we can dial in the exact size we need, which is that one right there. And for those of you who are wondering, this is a 1. I'm sorry, a 1.3. 1.3 Allen. I'm going to take that one out. And we're going to grab our 2.5 rod and our coil. Now I'm going to give you a close-up of this. That thing is pretty. All right. We're going to do our usual. Turn it at a 45. Tighten it down. Same thing with this one. And just snug it up. Now you see how we're not lined up? I do that so I can twist the coil, put some tension on it. And I've learned from experience that I'm going to lift this one up a little bit. And that tension on that coil just makes it glow a little bit better, glow a little bit nicer. Now, let's talk. These right here, let's get you down here where you can see it. You see how there's no lip right here on either side? There's no lip here, and there's no lip here. If you're not careful, they will slip out when you're trying to tighten them. Just be aware. Turn that all the way down so I can turn it off. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to snip these. And you're going to see I got some hanging out there, which makes it a pain. But what we're going to do, let me take y'all back out. Y'all don't need to be that close, right there. Boom. Unscrew that a little bit. Take your wedge, push it, snip it, let it back in a little bit. Not a lot, just a little. And tighten it back down. And now do the same thing to the other side. Actually, this one we're just going to loosen up and push back in some, because that one cut pretty close already. Boom. Just like that. All right, I had to step away from the boys for a minute there. over there. But I wanted to get on here and post this with my video tonight that I want to wish all the fathers out there a very happy Father's Day. Take this time, spend it with your kids. Enjoy this video. And I'll see you again next Saturday. Well, I shoot Saturday. I'll see you next Sunday. How about that? But I'm going to go back over here and enjoy fishing with my kids. Y'all have a great Father's Day. All right. So the recommendation on this is to start this out. Turn on our e-leaf. All right. The recommendation on this is to start it out at 10 watts, no higher. So we're going to start it out at 10 watts. And we're going to watch the color change. Let's see here. There we go. Look at that color change. Let's see if I can't fix that lead. I'm not a fan of how it just like jets out from the side. So I'm going to try and push it back over. We'll try that right there. All right. That looks better. It's not like poking out in front of that wick hole. There we go. Inside out. You see it? Look at that. Look at that color change. Look at that color change. Dead even. Pretty. All right. And that, I did that all on 10 watts. 3.4 ohms. It's not bad. It's supposed to be up higher, but let's before we go any further, we're gonna stick our cap on. And we're gonna try and fire again. Make sure we don't have any shorts. There we go. We don't have any shorts. We're going to reset the wattage on it, or ohms on it, stick it back on there, take it off. 4.6. Beautiful. Right where it's supposed to be. All right, now let's wick this thing. Supposedly, the wicking is the really important part to get the crackle that everybody wants. I don't really care about that. I just wanted the ohms to be higher than 3. This is a 2.5, so we're going to be running out 2.5 cotton. Right, we're going to take and thin it out some. I don't mean necessarily thin it out, but put a little tail on it, and just so I can slide it through. Try and keep the fibers nice and straight. Just like that. What I like to do is go flush with that base, and I'll trim it. And I'll trim it. You're going to end up with something about like that. Should look like a pretty little bow tie. Now, we're going to take and rake, and fluff. And fluff. Not thin, just fluff. Fluff. Now we're going to take and tuck. Should have a little bit of cotton hanging out right there underneath. Do the same thing on the other side. Just tuck. You don't want to make sure, you don't want it tight, but you want to make sure that hole is completely covered. So I kept it a little bit thin. Made sure that hole is completely filled, not packed, just covered side to side. Otherwise, it'll starve the coil while it's wicking. Now, we're going to be running test results 21 grams. This is really, really good. I rather enjoy it. Now we're just going to dab it on the cotton. Dab it on the cotton. And on the coil. Soak it in. All right, let's run it up to what we're going to be running it at. Probably about 30 watts. Beautiful. All right. So now we're going to throw our top cap on. See what I'm talking about? That tight fit. If you don't get it just right, it's got to sit just right. You can see that cotton right there and right there. Nice and saturated. Pop it off our e-leaf. And I think since we are running the black Wick'd, we're going to throw it in the white Boro. And we're going to throw it in the Book of Faces billet. We haven't had anything in this in a minute. I cleaned it up, wiped it down. You can still see the wet on it from where I wiped it. So yeah. Let's get it ready. Okay. That's ready. I'm just doing myself a favor for later. So the glass slides so much better. All right, so now you got to make a decision. Do you want the XO or the bear? I like the bear. So I'm going to throw it bear side down. Remember, this screws in. What I do is I'll slide it up to the top, start it, put it on there. Don't wrench it, just snug it up. Get your bottom set, push it down. You're in there. Take your glass, your new lubricated O-ring, slide it right on, just like that. Clean up any excess. All right. Double check my connections on this. Where's the battery? Right there. There we go. And just to keep with the theme, we're going to throw in the Voodoo wrapped 18650. Positive down, just like I had it. I should have just kept going, but I wanted to double check. There it is. Now, I am going to shoot some in here, not a lot, just some. There we go. Slide it up, just like that. We're going to drop it in. And notice you'll have some residual. I'm just going to clean it up with a paper towel. Throw our Billy nut on, flush nuts. I love that drip tip. Just kind of sets it off. Sorry about that. I had a piece of cotton stuck down in there. So let's put this on 30. Let's fire it. That's reading at 5.3. But that's it. Since we're reading a little off, we're going to go down some. And it's probably because I need to clean that connection between the Billy and the Boro itself. So we're going to go down to 27. See if that puts us at the range. Yep, 3.75. That's where I want to be. Really good airflow. Really good airflow. All right. So there it is. I'm going to get this cleaned up real quick. We'll come up top and we'll talk about it. And we'll go from there. All right. So let's talk about it. The Wicks. The Wicks. Ooh, look at that. Anyway, the Wick'd XO. Let's go over the pros and cons, shall we? We'll go over the pros first. I do like the form factor. It is smaller, which means it's going to fit inside of P tanks, which has been a really big struggle for me. It's hard to find, RBA bridges to fit inside of a P tank because my work mod is a P tank. That's what I use. So I do like the form factor, which means I will be able to use this in my work mod. Now, the fit and finish, the machining is rather well for being made by a clone company. It is rather well. It's rather nice. The packaging is really nice. I like the plastic with the. I like how they tried to make it look like the original, or the authentic. I'll give them that. They tried, but all the fit and finishes work rather well. Everything seems to work the way it's supposed to. Now let's get to the cons. They made it look really similar to the authentic, and that creates a problem because you have to verify serial numbers to make sure it's authentic. The other downfall, the other con that I have of it, is the airflow pins. You have a 1, and you go from a 1 to a 2.5, which is what I have in here now. I would really have liked a 1.2 or a 1.5 instead of just a straight 1. I like to rock a 1.5. The airflow pins, like I said, I would really have liked a 1.2 or a 1.5, but that's neither here nor there. They included what they included, and I don't think this is set up for or directed towards mouth to lung users, but I do like the fit and finish of it, and it does fit really well in the billet box and the P tank. So if I could find airflow pin set that works for this, and I can find my 1.2, great. If not, I'll use it the way it is. There are no O-rings that I've seen on this entire bridge, which is a good thing. And I think that's the only complaints I have about it. So the airflow that's in here is really good. I rather enjoy it. It's not my preferred, but it does work rather well. Um, let's see. What was I going to say? I think that's pretty much it. So there you have it. That's the Wick'd XO clone made by Vape. And yeah, so I'd like to thank y'all for coming to hang out with the Blue Collar Bastard on the Vape'n Bastard channel. Come back and see me next Saturday. And I have something else for y'all to chew on.